Now, I am a lot of things, but one thing I am not is one to turn down an opportunity to ride a brand new motorcycle. So when I was invited to the New Zealand launch of the brand new Triumph Tiger 1200, I had my flights booked within the hour. Leaving home in Wellington around 4 a.m, I was headed to Auckland to join the Kiwi Rider team. I was picked up in Auckland around 7:30 a.m. We headed to QMU. Walking into the venue, we were greeted with 4 stunning-looking Triumphs on display. One of each model of the Triumph Tiger 1200 that Triumph New Zealand are bringing into the country. The Triumph Tiger 1200 is split into 2 families. We've got the Road Bias GT and the Off-Road Bias Rally models. Each family has 2 feature sets. So we've got the GT Pro with cast alloy tubeless rims, 19-inch front, 18-inch rear wheel, 20-litre fuel tank, Metzler Tourance tyres, 200mm of suspension travel, skid plate, 850 to 870mm seat height. And then the GT Explorer, basically the same, has a 30-litre fuel tank. Then we have in the Rally family, the Rally Pro. This has spoked tubeless rims, a 21-inch front and 18-inch rear, 20-litre fuel tank, Metzler Karoo street tyres, 220mm of suspension travel, sump guard, 175 to 195mm seat height, and the Rally Explorer, which again is much the same, but comes with the 30-litre fuel tank. The Triumph Tiger 1200 has been redesigned for this year completely from the ground up. Not even the engine remains, though it still resembles the same screaming triple from the likes of the Speed and Street triple models. We are assured that it is all new. Comes with a 132 firing order. The new 1160cc has a T-plane crank, putting out 150 horsepower at 9,000 RPM and 130 Nm of torque at 7,000 RPM. Some interesting facts that were thrown at us during the presentation were it has 58% more power, 49% more torque and 10% more weight than the brand new Tiger 900, its stablemate, which equates to something like 25 kgs more weight, but a whole lot more go. This new 1200 is around 25 kgs lighter than the model it replaces also, which was a big focus for the designers. Things like swapping out the steel fuel tank for a lighter alloy unit. The Rally model does weigh slightly more than the GT model, but impressively, the Tiger 1200 starts at 240 kgs wet. That's 17 kgs lighter than the direct competition, the BMW R1250 GS. Triumph have held a lot of focus groups and they've really listened to the public when it comes to the design of this bike. One thing they asked for was low maintenance, specifically a low maintenance shaft drive. Tech on this bike includes cornering ABS, a 7-inch TFT display, blind spot radar on the 2 Explorer models, active suspension. The bike actually adjusts the rear suspension to suit the amount of weight on the bike. My Triumph connectivity app, which includes Google and GoPro integration. All bikes come with rain, sport, road and off-road modes. The Rally Pro also gets an off-road Pro mode, which basically turns all rider assist off. All model Triumphs get a new shift assist quick shifter, LED lighting all around, keyless start and security system, USB charger in the seat storage, hill hold, heated grips, heated seats for the Explorer model, and this is a option for the other models. And when it comes to heated seats, you get independent temperature controls for both the rider and the pillion. Cruise control comes as standard, and that's no surprise. Interestingly enough, no mention of adaptive cruise control. I have heard though that this was a thing in the Triumph focus groups. People said we don't need it, we're not going to use it. Hey, I'll take that at face value. The rear subframe is bolt-on, the pillion pegs are removable. These were 2 bones of contention with the previous models. 1,600 kilometre service intervals, that is huge. And for the first time, Triumph are including a 3-year unlimited kilometre warranty. So, how does it ride? Well, remember this is a first ride. We only got to ride some of the 4 models available for a very short time, but I've got to say I was impressed. I rode the GT Pro and the Rally Explorer. So let's start with the GT Pro. It was smooth, it was powerful. We didn't get a lot of time on the bikes before setting off, so I spent half of the short test ride in rain mode, which I can report does a great job of removing the snappy power when you give it a handful. It's really going to help you keep that traction in the rear wheel. It's going to keep you out of trouble, I reckon. I found myself on a gravel road with a lot of corrugations and the traction control was kicking in quite a bit. But once I worked out what I was doing, I got the bike into off-road mode and we were away laughing. In reality, the bike was perfectly adequate for the conditions. To ride the majority of the roads I know Kiwis will find themselves on, the Triumph Tiger 1200 GT Pro would be ample. A 20-litre fuel tank is actually pretty decent, considering most of the competition are coming with 17-18-litre fuel tanks. There really wasn't much need for a 21-inch front wheel over the 19-inch cast alloy unit. I had power to spare, the gearing seemed long, I found myself in first and second more often than not, and the power comes on really nicely. It's not savage like some bikes with similar sized engines, it's quite refined. Don't get me wrong though, there is a hell of a lot of power, but the engine delivers it so progressively and smoothly that when riding it you can be forgiven for thinking you're riding a bike with a much smaller engine. And then you look down and you realise that you're exceeding the speed limit somewhat and you wind it back. One benefit of riding the Rally Pro or Rally Explorer models, however, is the additional rider mode, the Off-Road Pro, which allows you to turn off all the rider aids completely, unlike the standard off-road mode, which keeps a bit of ABS on for the front wheel. I took the Rally Explorer off Kiwi Rider magazine test rider Jock McLaughlin, who's known for turning every single aid he can find off. He's not against pulling a fuse if he needs to. So the bike was in full manual, full send mode. It was snappy, it was responsive, it was light on its feet, agile and ready to get stuck into some really tough stuff. It's probably the bike that felt more like my Tenere 700 than any other 1-litre plus bike I've ever ridden. I had an absolute blast and instantly grew the confidence to start playing around. I was kicking the tail out around some corners, I was lighting up the rear wheel, it was fantastic. I tell you what, that's pretty much all I can say about my short experience at the launch of the Triumph Tiger 1200. I really enjoyed them and I'm looking forward to an extended ride when I can share more of these bikes with you. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If there's something you want to know about these bikes, chuck it in the comments below and we'll answer it as soon as we possibly can. Thanks for watching, team. Hooroo!